So it's me again, and I am getting ready to get on the road. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada right now, but I am headed to Bend, Oregon, and I am on my way to go pick up a 1981 Datsun 210 wagon for Kalissa's car. This trip gets to combine two things that I really like, which are Datsuns, automotive-based stuff, and road trips. And so this is fun for me because it also includes potentially even camping. So I've got the dual cab, which has the rooftop tent in the back. I've got myself situated, and I'm getting ready to go on the road. So let me just walk you through the cab real quick on what it takes to get on the road. I've got my bag right here, my backpack with all my important paperwork in it. I've got my food right here, dry goods, and then my drinks and refrigerated type stuff in my cooler. I've got a sleeping bag in the back and my clothes and all the jackets and stuff. And then behind us is the rooftop tent, and then there's a car trailer behind me. So let's go ahead and let's get out on the road. I've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I should mention that the weather for this trip isn't the greatest. We are going into significant amount of precipitation. It's supposed to be snowing in Tonopah and Austin. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, it should be a lot of rain. I'm told that some of the places along the path, some of the spots along the road have some situations where there's flooding. So yeah, typical, right? So nonetheless, we shouldn't have any major issues because all the roads do look to be clear, at least right now. I'm keeping an eye out. We'll see what happens. I'm expecting that it'll be fairly okay. The only complication is going to come into where I stay the night. So I have in mind a couple of places. I just need to be careful because I don't want to get off the road and get stuck in like mud or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Also, with no weight on the trailer brakes are phenomenally too much. So every time I come to a stop, I have to be super careful about how much brake I give it, because the main truck brakes are not what's stopping the vehicle. It's the trailer. Of course, that's with the trailer brakes completely turned down, like on the brake controller. So it is really, really, really touchy on the brakes. It's not my trailer, but I wouldn't set them that touchy. So, we were talking about the weather, right? We were talking about how the weather is going to change, and it is definitely colder in Beatty than it is in Las Vegas. So anyway, I stopped here in Beatty to grab some snacks, because it's the Death Valley Nut and Candy Company. It's Eddie World, right? And I needed fuel, because I'm not going to push it with this tank. So I'm going to head up to my parents' house now, grab a copy of the insurance for the vehicle, so I'm running around without that, and then we'll go from there. So, see you on the road. All right, so I went and visited my parents for a brief little bit, had some lunch, back on the road again, getting out of Beatty right now, and we're headed to Tonopah, so see you on the road. Tonopah, Nevada, and so I'm here, grab some gas. Next stop is Austin. I don't know how much of a stop it's going to be, but the next gas of any sizable amount is probably going to be Battle Mountain. So I'm going to continue north, and everything's going good. I just checked the oil. The oil's good. It's not burning any oil. The truck is running great, and I am enjoying my snacks from Beatty, so we're in good shape. So let's get the road. So something we don't talk a lot about is the fact that Nevada is a large desert area. Oh, this road's bumpy. So Nevada is part of the Great Basin. Pretty much the entire state of Nevada is the Great Basin. And this whole area really gets in a rain shadow. It's very rare for there to be a lot of wet weather in Nevada, in the central Nevada. But there are mountain ranges that run north-south through the entire state, and those mountains are actually really tall and have lots of trees on them and vegetation. So the fun thing about Nevada is that there's a variety of stuff in this vast area, and it's all remote. Up ahead, I'll flip the camera around. Up ahead, the mountains, I think the Toyabe range of mountains that are ahead of us, they are just covered in snow. So let's flip that around so you can see. So look at those mountains way out there. That's just amazing. Those mountains are like, I think 10,000 feet or so. It's pretty crazy. So we're driving through the Big Smoky Valley, which is actually between the Toyabe Range and the Monitor Range of mountains. And I don't know if I'd call it smoky here, although it does seem hazy sometimes. But Big Smoky Valley is windy. Like every time I've ever gone through here, it's windy. So I think it's Big Windy Valley. But nonetheless, the mountains are absolutely stunning because they're covered in snow. And it's May. Like it's the first week of May and we still have a good amount of snow. We also caught a few little flurries of snow. So yeah, that's cool. Alright, so we have reached US Highway 50, which is the loneliest road in America, and I'm about to go over the top of Bob Scott and Austin summits. It's actually the most exhilarating part of the drive. So let's show you what that's like to drive over in a time lapse. was exhilarating. So, yeah, that was lots of fun. Anyway, we're on our way. We're gonna skip Stokes Castle, of all the things to skip, right? And we are headed straight to Battle Mountain, so we'll catch you on the other end. All right, so I've made it to Battle Mountain, Nevada, and here we are. It's about 6:30 or so. So I'm not gonna drive all night long, but we're gonna see about how far we can go, because it looks like with the rain, I'm probably gonna be crashing out in the back seat here. So I do want to just try and get as much time of driving in as I can before I have to crash, because I know when I crash, I'm just gonna get whatever sleep I can get. So here we are. We're just gonna head on down the highway. The truck is running well, and yeah, should be a fairly safe trip moving forward. Okay, so I made it to Winnemucca, Nevada, and I'm doing okay. It's getting a little late, so I'm kind of more along the lines of trying to figure out where I stop. I'm just gonna fill my water, but nonetheless, truck is running well. I just topped off my gas because the next stop for gas is probably Burns, Oregon, and there's a lot of space between here and Burns. So the idea is we're gonna keep the tank topped off. I happen to have some reserve gas in the truck in a gas can, and hopefully we don't need it. So yeah, we'll see. Probably the next time you see me I don't know, something comes up, I guess. All right, good morning. It is Friday morning, and we are 16 miles west of Burns, Oregon on US Highway 20. And so last night we made it to Burns. We got some gas. The Silvies River was definitely very high, but not flooded over the highway. So we made it to Burns, and then we made it to this rest stop, and I crashed out in the back seat of this truck, and I got a pretty good night's rest, all things considered. So let's head on the road and get to Aaron's house, and we'll see you at Aaron's house. Well, it is most definitely a rainy Central Oregon day. And yeah, it's definitely wet. So all things considered, it's gonna be a good day. And so here is the reason why we made this suicide run all the way up to Oregon. We went to pick up this car. This car has a bunch of engines and stuff that are available to it that are going to provide me with the ability to get Kalissa's car better running. I've got two A14s in the trunk. There's an A15 under the hood. There's a 5-speed transmission. So it's going to put us in a better spot. Okay, so here's the man himself, Mr. Enabler. What are you doing trying to enable me buying Datsun parts?
Because Datsun, man. Why else? You know? Datsun ain't done right. How else are you gonna do it?
Alright, so the trailer is all loaded up, and I am in Bend, just getting ready to get out of town, and I stopped. I'm gonna do a little bit of work on the truck. First of all, the radio antenna is missing because I, like an idiot, drove through the car wash and broke it off. So I'm gonna put something there because I really want to have a radio antenna. I want to be able to hear the radio. And then I was smelling a burning smell, and it turns out that the blower fuse is melted at the fuse block. So that blower fuse is right there, and it is melty, and I can't go without a blower, so I've got to fix that now. So in a pinch, I've got some stuff I picked up at the O'Reilly's, and I'm gonna make it work. All right, so I've got that fixed down there, at least temporarily. And so if I turn this blower on, blower works fine. We're good. So I think at this point, now that I think everything's good to go, I've checked the fluids and everything, it is 1 o'clock and I need to get on the road. I need to get out of Bend. I'm going to make a couple phone calls and then it's time to get rolling. We are in a very wet Burns, Oregon. It is raining like crazy. It has been raining for probably, well, at least since I got here and then back. So it's been raining pretty much all day. And the river is supposed to overflow today. So there's a good likelihood we're getting turned around up here. Let's hope not. So not a paid endorsement, but these Patagonia XT tires have been really, really good. There have been spots in the road that have been very slick, and there was plenty of grip. I never felt at any point concerned about losing traction or any of it. It was great. So if we can get through the flood area without having any major anything, and it looks like they haven't done anything to restrict travel, we'll be in good shape the rest of the way home. Hopefully this rain is it. My idea is to get as far as I can in daylight to try and get out of the rain and into Nevada, because I can deal with night driving as long as it's not rain. Yeah, so the look at the flooding on both sides. The river is definitely over its banks, but luckily it's not over the road, which is perfect. But there's a lot of water. So we made it to McDermott, Nevada. We just gassed this pig up. So far, we're not using any oil. And it's about 6:30 at night. But this is heavy. So every time you see a grade, it's definitely a difficult climb. But we are making do. Sun is starting to go down, which means we don't have a whole lot of time left for driving. But I really do want to get as close to home as I can tonight, because tomorrow I just want to have some time to relax. Alright, so we're in Battle Mountain, Nevada. Yeah, we're in Battle Mountain. So we're in Battle Mountain, Nevada. The old dual cab's all hitched up. and I needed something to eat, so I got something to eat. The breakfast burrito is for tomorrow morning. The Lunchable is for tonight because I skipped dinner. So the truck is looking like a real mess right now. And after having gotten gas and all the other stuff and whatnot, I'm going to find somewhere to stop for the night, and then I'm going to reorganize stuff and just get ready for, get some rest. So I had some people ask questions about what do I do to keep my mind active while I'm driving. And sometimes it's a lot. The answers are not as easy as you think. A lot of times, what I do is I'll listen to podcasts. Music actually makes my mind relax, puts me to sleep. But podcasts engage my mind and make me think. So I listen to things that make me want to think. And it's dark. I'm sorry. So I guess what I'm trying to say is things that make you think are going to probably be the most helpful for you to be able to stay awake in a road trip. At least that's for me. And I also pick snacks. That's the other thing. I pick snacks that I enjoy but don't leave my mouth feeling like a mothball. So be very careful in your snack picking, and be careful in what you listen to, because it will determine whether or not you're going to stay awake. Let's go find somewhere to stay. Well, good morning. It is Saturday morning. It's 5:43 a.m. When somebody gives you the exact time in the morning, something's up. So, this is the reason that I don't, this is the reason I was reluctant to use the tent in Oregon, and that's because without a rainfly, this thing is useless. This tent leaks like a sieve when there is no rainfly on it. So, in other words, yeah, that's not a very good situation. So anyway, I've got to hurry up and pack up and get into the truck and get going. Alright, so that tent is now put away. So some of you are probably laughing like crazy, hysterically right now, because you're like, Patrick, don't you know you're supposed to use a rain fly with those? Well, I don't have a rain fly in my tired brain. Yesterday, when I parked, looked and said, there's not a cloud in the sky, the moon is up, I think the rain is over. Well, clearly it wasn't. So anyway, the key here is now when I get home to dry weather, I'm going to need to make sure that thing is wide open and vents out and dries out. Otherwise it'll mildew, which we can't have. But anyway, time to get on the road, guys. So now the ever-present concern is, since it's raining here and we are about 2,000 feet below the summit of Austin, what's it doing at the summit? So now we might have to drive through the snow with this truck and trailer, which I'm not looking forward to. So hopefully that's not an issue. Otherwise, we might have to figure something out. Well, it's snowing, and we're on Highway 305. I want to say Nevada 305 or 304. And yeah, it's snowing, and that means that Austin will likely be just as bad, if not worse. All right, we're now in four-wheel drive because the road is pretty slick. We still haven't made it to Austin. We're going nice and slow. So far, we haven't had any traction issues at all. So it's a matter of getting through this. All this white stuff. Alright, so we made it over Austin Summit. That was hair-raising. Yeah, the headlights might need a little bit of help getting uncovered. Yeah, there we go. A lot of snow built up on the trailer. I feel like I'm dragging a huge weight behind me. All this snow on here. Everything looks like it's doing pretty good though. Crazy. Alright, so there's a lot of snow. Yeah, so I'm just gonna very carefully make my way down. I think I'll be out of this about Tonopah. Alright, so we've gotten to Round Mountain Carvers and got gas. Next stop is Beatty, so there's one more mountain that I need to worry about that might be a little slick, might have some snow on it, and that's Tonopah. We just don't know yet. So we'll get there, and then I think the worst is past us. So something else to throw at this conversation that we're having is I've been asked a number of questions why I took the high compression pistons out of the dual cab and why I put it back to regular unleaded, kind of derated the engine. Why did I do that? Well, it comes down to Central Nevada and the purpose of the truck. The purpose of the truck has always been to go exploring, see remote places, be a go-anywhere type of vehicle. And that gas station back there is a prime example. They don't have premium. All they have is regular unleaded. And I like being able to just put whatever gas I want in here. I don't need to have a premium only engine to have a great performing vehicle. So that's why.